afternoon, folks. We'll talk a little bit today about diesel prices. And while I know most y'all have seen these gas prices come down a decent amount, they're still not down what they were, but they've come down where you can stomach them. I don't know if you've noticed, but diesel prices ain't hard to come down a bit. They're stubbornly high, and now that gas prices are going back up, well, diesel prices are going up too. And there's been several reasons for this. One is we just simply do not have the capacity to produce enough diesel fuel to supply everything that runs on diesel. Number two, when diesel fuel's refined, it's refined a couple different ways. Diesel fuel is what they call number two. Then you got kerosene, which is number one. You got fuel oil, which is number three. Number one, kerosene, is the cleanest, refined product of diesel. And diesel's kind of in the middle, and fuel oil's substantially dirtier, but the only place fuel oil really gets used is in home furnaces, and big industrial like ships and stuff that can burn that dirtier oil. Well, now winter's coming on. They're having to produce more kerosene and more fuel oil because there's still a lot of houses up north. They're still heated with that stuff. So they got to build up stockpiles so people don't freeze to damn death. Another problem we're having is not only can we not produce enough, we can't transport it. Now they're talking that there's going to be shortages in New England this winter of diesel fuel and outages. And the reason behind that, New England gets a lot of their diesel fuel from overseas. Because the rail system's not that good getting it up there. They don't have the storage facilities. New England's where NIMBY started off. Not in my backyard. They got rid of refineries, and they got rid of oil storage facilities. They got rid of big rail yards because they don't want to look at it. Well, now we're going to pay for our sins. Now with this thing going on in Ukraine, they're going to cut off Russian oil. A lot of that oil that's going to New England is going to be going to Europe. Because they're getting a better price for it there. We can't really blame the countries that are selling it, because they're in business to make money. You say, "Oh, Big John, why don't you just take our oil that we got in the Gulf and load it up, take it up to New England?" Number one, there's two ways you can do that. Well, really three. But one is just not feasible. They can load it on trains, or they can load it on ships. And they could load it on trucks, but there just isn't enough trucks to move that much oil. Or that much diesel that far. Back in the big 19th or 20th century, the 1900s, the government made a law trying to protect American shippers to where you couldn't move products or people from one U.S. port to another U.S. port on anything but a U.S. flagged ship, called the Jones Act. At the time, they were trying to protect American shippers from foreigners coming in with and hauling, undercutting their freight and hauling it cheaper. Once again, a law that was made with good intentions, which has bad results. Big John, ain't no problem. Just load it up on U.S. flagged ships and towed it. Now here comes the second problem with that. I don't know if you know it or not, but most ships that are sailing the ocean today are not U.S. flagged. Our government has made it nearly impossible to flag a ship in the United States and still stay in business. Because there's lots of rules that come with flying a U.S. flag. If you have a U.S. flagged vessel, it has to be worked on in the United States by certified people, certified shipyards that the government approves of. It has to pay U.S. taxes, which is insane. It has to use a United States citizen crew. And not only do they have to use that United States citizen crew, but the Coast Guard requires them to have a bigger crew than a lot of foreign countries do. And, whereas, let's say a tanker has a crew of 35 people. Well, if it's flagged in the United States, it might have to have a 60-person crew. Well, that's the biggest cost of a ship sailing the ocean, is the crew. Because that U.S. crew is going to make substantially more money, too. So hence, we have almost no merchant marine ship fleet in the country. If you go on Google and search about our merchant marine fleet, we've got a number of cargo ships, but they're what they call U.S. Navy reserve vessels. They keep them in ports. I don't know if you've ever been to Baltimore or some of these ports. You'll see a few of them. They're painted gray like Navy ships, but they're cargo ships. And they're just sitting there. Well, they're there for a time of war, like when the Gulf War happened, to do large mobilizations overseas. As for privately owned merchant ships, virtually zero are U.S. flagged. There's a few, but they're mostly smaller little coastal ships. So, knowing that, unless they change the law, which they're not apt to do, they can't move the oil by ocean either. I don't know where y'all are at, but today I'm driving up I-81. And from the bottom down there in Tennessee, you see a diesel price. And if you drive up 81 towards New York, that price just steady goes up. Every mile further you go up, you're closer to New England. And it's getting crazy. Say, well, Big John, I ain't got no big old honking obnoxious diesel truck. I don't care about diesel prices. Everything you have in your possession right now got to you or is going to get to you via truck. Diesel prices go up, grocery prices go up. Diesel prices go up, clothes prices go up, energy prices go up, car prices go up, all of it. Everything goes up. You order your stuff off Amazon, the shipping goes up. It's price of diesel affects everything. And that's why you haven't seen inflation really come off. No matter what the damn government says, they full of shit as a Christmas turkey. Our dear leader had a speech today about he's going to release 15 more billion barrels of oil, or million barrels of oil, from the Strategic Oil Reserve, which is what one thing that reserve was never meant for. Anybody think it might have anything to do with the midterms are coming up in 2 weeks? He thinks he has a side agenda. But anywho, he could release all 400 million barrels out of that reserve. If you can't move it and you can't refine it, it's worthless. It's oil is worth nothing. The value in oil is what you make from it. And if you think oil just goes into your gas tank, well, there you're wrong. Do you a little Google search and get you a list of products that have petroleum in them. It will blow your mind. Cosmetics, medicines, rubber, anything made of plastic. How do you buy anything today that doesn't have something to do with plastic about it? And of course, all your gasolines and oils, propane, natural gas, and then what things don't have oil in them have to use some kind of oil to be made. How many assembly lines do you think run and don't need oil to oil something? To oil a bearing on a motor, to oil a track, to oil, just whatever. Oil, we're not getting away from oil anytime soon. No matter what the little tree huggers tell you, we're not getting away from oil. It is too ingrained in our society. We can work towards it. I hope for a day when we do get away from oil, because it take the stranglehold a lot of other countries have on us away. And it'll take a big old political football away too. But that day is not coming anytime soon. Not in our lifetime. Now they might get to where we use less and less of it. But it's not going to get to where it's going. They want us to go to the electric vehicles. But you hear about all over the country, in Texas, California, out west, about them having rolling blackouts because they can't produce enough electricity. So what do they want to do? Let's throw another couple million electric vehicles on the grid that need charged. Oh yeah, that's going to help. See where I'm going with this? A lot of things have to improve before we can ever work away from the situation we're in now. And the politicians don't want to touch it. They want their issues. They don't want to fix things, they want the issues. We're in a mess, folks, just to put it bluntly. But anyways, what I'm saying is, if you do any traveling up New England this winter, I'd make sure you got a full tank of fuel before you go up there. And if you are in New England, live there or whatever, God help you, because it's as bad as it is now. It's going to get worse. And this has nothing to do with doom and gloom. I mean, I'm not even delving into the rest of the economy. Because truth be known, a very, very large percentage of the general economy revolves around crude oil. If we don't fix this issue, we can't fix nothing else. But yeah, he came up today and I'm going to throw a little political crumb out there so he can get his party can get some votes in the midterms. Really don't think it's going to help him. They're scared to death they're going to get whooped. And if they do, they've probably earned it. I'm telling you, we got issues right now. You know, a lot of companies out there, they drive a particular kind of truck. You know, we got Freightliners right now. We get from Penske. But before that, we drove Volvos, only Volvos. And I talked to a FedEx driver the other day. Been with FedEx for a number of years. He said right now FedEx is buying up every day cab they can get their hands on, no matter the make. He was driving a Peterbilt day cab, and they don't care the make. They just want the day cabs because they you know, trucks, motors blow in trucks get wrecked, trucks just wear out. And they can't replace them as fast as they're wearing them out. My company's kind of had the same issue. The truck gets wrecked or totaled, even with it being through Penske, we can't get a replacement. We're on a waiting list for several replacements. Now I don't know how the finances work with that, with the rentals and everything, but of the trucks that were wrecked, but it's a hard way to run a business. We've got 20 new utility trailers up here sitting in utility trailer. They've been built for 6 months. Can't get reefers for them. Just not available. And if our current fleet, something happens and a reefer gets blowed up or something, has a catastrophic failure, my trailer's just out of business because we can't get replacements. Makes a fine dry van, but dry vans don't do you any good when you're hauling chicken. But that's getting off the subject a little bit. The subject was diesel prices. And the long and the short of it is diesel prices is going to keep going up. And oh yeah, gas prices are going back up. I think the midterm election is November 8th. Watch what happens November 9th. When they don't have an election ahead of them. It's going to be a doozy. I'll catch y'all on the flip side and y'all have a fine day.